I don't know about D and Ken's area, but Hillsboro's starting to pool with the smoke from the fires.
Gross.
That's gross.
Yeah. It's pretty gross.
Oops, that's not helpful.
We got a D that's trying to show screen.
Yeah. I just have to put the right thing on there, you know? There we go.
Your video's not coming through though.
Oh, do they do... Hold on. I hate the fact that it does that.
Takes it over.
I see.
Already. Yeah.
What?
Okay, let's try that again.
Oh. There's an Ivar for Drew.
By the way, this GIF I found is what I think Ivar looks like,
Well, hey.
but
All
just more dirty.
Oh, so I'll be horrifying.
And I really think Ivar needs that, like a bandana like that.
That's true. He does.
Wife swap.
The fact that you know that's from that show horrifies me.
It says wife swap in the upper corner. I thought that was
I'll
Tommy
make-
Chong at first.
That's who I thought it was too. How's everyone doing?
Doing good so far, man. You?
Doing great. The room is now 95% done. We're just waiting on the carpet.
Nice.
Hell yeah, carpet! It's gotten to a point now where it's stupid hot.
It's stupid hot.
What are you guys at?
I think we hit like 108 today or something.
What?
Yeah.
In the Pacific Northwest, that's not
This is on
good.
fire.
Yeah, that's like
I don't care where you
15
go. 108.
yeah, it's like 15 degrees too high.
Did you have a breeze at all, or was it 108 no breeze?
I never went outside to find out.
Smart. I didn't either.
I stayed right here in my air-conditioned little hovel.
I'm curious how many people up there do not have air conditioning.
A lot.
It's one of the reasons we moved out of the Bay, because there's very few houses in the Bay Area have air conditioning unless someone has put it in afterward. And when we would get days that would be 100 degrees, it would still be like 90 in the house, like even at night. And so moving up to or over to the Sacramento area, where we'll have like 3 months of triple digits, this air conditioning is standard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of like, I call them pop insulation, because I think of your grandpa, Scott, of
Yeah.
like ways I can insulate without having to get in air conditioning to keep the temperature reasonable.
Yeah.
And it's worked for the most part, but we still get days where it's just
You get that swamp cooler.
no, I just hide in the bunker.
Yeah, I'll have days, not as much now because I had to take the kids to school, but during summer, when everyone was off, where I would be in this office like pretty much all day. There's a bathroom in here, like all that, it's on its own AC unit, and then I would go into the rest of the house, and I'm like, you guys keep it at like 78 in here. My wife is like, what are you keeping it in there? I'm like, don't check.
Yeah, I remember I had air conditioning at work. I convinced the HVAC guys to like override the system and permanently set my AC at 66.
That's
Kids would
outside
come
of
in.
OSHA regs, buddy.
Hey, 66 was a beautiful temperature. Kids would be coming in freezing cold. I'd be in shorts like, this is so nice.
That's
All
a
right.
very old man thing to be doing.
We were killing vampires.
You were.
No, the lava shit is what was happening.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was the
that's
last thing
true.
that we noticed. And like I said before, the civilian population luckily did not get smacked with lava diarrhea. Yeah, no splash damage. It would seem that the canal that was made out of vehicles shielded them from most of this particular calamity.
I apologize for the crudeness of this. I just thought I was trying to think of an appropriate way for Ivar to take out the enemies, and this just seemed something he would do.
It is.
It is
Followed by
properly
his statement at
disgusting.
the end. I had a good time. And I just couldn't imagine the stench afterwards.
Oh, and yes, just to confirm, the karaoke scene in Disco Elysium, if you get that far, is probably the best 3 minutes of the game.
I'm gonna try to see if I can get there when I pick it up again.
Because it's that lizard voice singing a song.
That's amazing.
It's so... yeah, it's good.
Oh my god. Why is it that Tom
Before
and Jerry is so them? Anyway, what?
I was gonna say before we leave tonight, I want to we're actually really fast. Bill, I wanted to lock down to see if we could at least set a date for when we're gonna meet up with Kenny. Even if we have to change it, at least we can put it on the calendar.
Just put it on a Sunday.
Well, it's gonna be a Sunday, just the 5th, 12th, 19th, and 26th. I was thinking the 12th, just hit right in the middle.
Pick.
All right, we're going for the 12th.
Sounds good.
Because right now Kimmy's work is. Don't know what it's gonna be like.
Creative.
Man,
Has
it's
she
so
got a new-
crazy.
Has she found a new job yet?
No, not yet.
She's
I
just
wish
dealing
her
with
well.
creative scheduling.
Yeah, she
You're
lost.
very,
She lost another person.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, nice.
That's
So.
rough. That sucks too, because like I was hoping that, in my mind, you were getting the job at Hawksoft and her keeping a good part of her job. That you guys would be like, "Hey, everything's happy now. We're making 2 incomes." Woo!
No, it nope, nope.
Just no, just not even anything. Just no.
No, I mean I don't get to see her, so
I'm sorry.
yeah, it is what it is.
So that shit flowcastic flow.
Yeah. Yes, the
I was trying to go with pyroclastic flow.
That both works.
I mean, both applies to every setting of the conversation. So
yes.
That's true.
yeah.
Let
So
The
so you
volcanic
were
analclasm.
Anaplasm.
Anoclasm. We're gonna go with that. So the gigantic anoclasm was going at the hellhounds that were charging us.
Well, so he hit along the side of the building because you guys were on the north side of the intersection, and he just sprayed it out across because he was standing next to where Barrick was and where Richard appeared.
D,
I-
what is this song?
What?
What is this song?
This song is Infinite by No Taker.
That was a he got summoned by the roommates.
All right.
And Barrick had just gotten done with his duel, and he forgot his notes.
I was like,
And then-
something's missing. Sorry. By the way, if I do disappear, guys, the way the system's set up in the house now, I can be anywhere and still hear you and talk to you. I'm not on camera.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, John and Barrick had gotten done with our duels.
Yep.
Yeah. we called him out and did our solo takedowns.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So here's the rub. So you have this AOE eruption from Ivar coming from the north side headed south, and it goes right along the building, and it catches a couple of the other vampires that were still in the midst of the crowd trying to feed on the civilians. Hits one of the other ones that was engaged with the golem, who managed to peace out right before the whole thing happened. And that was when Richard appeared, gave a little bit of... Well, I mean, Richard actually appeared just before this nastiness. Richard appeared just before that and healed Barrack up completely.
Yes.
With a tattoo spider.
Yeah, with Kali.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
By the way, who's Richard?
Richard
He is
Tynes,
our vampire hunting friend.
Yeah, Richard Tynes. He was involved with the group before Ivar reappeared. So
He's got like death incarnate bullshit going on.
We're in a different part of Night City than we've been before. We went there to visit him because we're trying to get some help handling this specific group of vampires. The
Yes,
Zamisi.
Bill.
Would you like to know where we are? In the United States? Would you like to know?
I'd like Ivar to discover that on his own. Thank you very much. I
Please
think it'll
test
be a lot more fun. Do you want to tell me? I'll pretend Ivar doesn't know, and I'll have fun with it.
North Carolina!
Funny story. My loan is coming out of North Carolina, and I've been talking to the people from North Carolina, and they've been calling me. And I tried, but when I talk to me on their phone, and I hear that voice, I'm just like, bless
twang.
you, little people. The twang. They're twangy.
No, I was just referring to Idiocracy.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's South Carolina.
Oh, it's South Carolina?
It's South Carolina.
Does it really matter
South
at that
Carolina.
point?
I'm baiting.
Exactly.
Anyway,
well, regardless, we have that whole thing going off. Barrack just recently healed. Ivar trying to recover from his own mystical haphazard spell of a sort. His reality shifting, going to a whole new level of disturbing. With some of the vampire enemies down, you were recently informed that there is something else going on because Riv from up in the air had reported that there was more bogies coming in. They hadn't quite arrived yet, but they were going to be coming in.
Skin wolves. Yeah, our cop friends had turned skinny.
Yeah, the chitness direwolves that seem to be sort of hitting around right now, or like heading our way.
Are they diarrhea wolves now?
No, but like I said, they didn't quite get there before Ivar blasted off.
Dang.
So where that puts us right now is at Bill's turn, and we'll have to. He basically is getting the assessment from Riv up in the air that there's more incoming.
so I guess
We're
I'll do combat sense awareness roll for that.
Yep.
Man, just to put it in the perspective of what the hell's going on, we went through 3 rounds last time, so literally like 9 seconds has passed.
Yeah.
Wait, is it around 3 seconds?
Yeah. That's how fast you guys move.
So 27. Based off of Riv's information.
I am going to be eating my dinner while doing this because.
Stuff thy face.
Bill, you rolled in the laser lounge.
Oh, did I?
Yeah. I was like,
Man.
where's your roll at?
It's 27.
Oh, I just got a
True.
an interview.
Wow. Well, congratulations. It's been a long day.
All right, let's read that off. It looks like we got a 27 for combat sense awareness, since this wasn't showing up elsewhere.
Oh, I just happened to be in Laser Lounge. I'm like, he rolled right in the chat. I see it. Yeah, 27.
All right. So, what we've got going on now is you basically get up to the top of the semi truck, so you can just go hop. Like takes no time at all. You see the strange wolves coming through the various cars in the lot and like on the side streets and on the main street coming through. You've got that multi-lane highway, former highway anyway. It's been blocked off, but they're coming straight at you guys. And like I said, there are 9 of them.
How fast are they coming?
They're coming quick because they were a ways out, like maybe about half a block, and they're going to be here in the next few seconds.
Okay, he's going to. He's going to cast friction curses.
Say again?
Friction curses. It's his standard mode. I mean, the more force that they employ in their motion, it causes kinetic feedback within their bodies.
Right.
Extreme chafing.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
you've got 9 targets, which means that you're going to have a fairly high difficulty to get all of them, or you're
Gotta
going to
love that.
zone in.
Cosmic
Joggers
chafing.
nipples.
Oh god.
Okay, so we're gonna hit. We're gonna. You know what? John's gonna just react. He's just gonna look and go, "Oh, fuck," and then he just snaps like that.
Yep.
Just a nice little snap, down snap. And what's the difficulty gonna be?
It's going to be 9.
Okay.
How many are you trying to
Okay.
snag?
Well, 9. So
Okay.
Well, they're chitness, remember?
Chiclets?
Chiclets.
wow.
Chitness.
Isn't it chitin?
Okay, and
I love the
and then I'm
motion
gonna
blur.
use 2 luck to bump up that 7 to 9, so that's 2 degrees of success.
Gotta rock out. I'm enjoying that though.
All right. So you create a zone about 20 feet across that they, might actually cross through, and you happen to get 3 of the 9 snagged in that 20-foot radius.
Okay, so damage 2
I gotta
degrees.
figure out what their if they resist any part of it, because you had 2 successes.
Mhm.
Doo-doo-doo. All right. Yeah. What's your damage? They only got 1.
Okay, so damage is going to be based off of will, melee rank, plus power rank.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's going to be will 10, melee rank 7, power rank I put 6.
So that's 60 right there, because it's multiplied by 10s. Each power rank, each rank in the power gives you 10 points of damage.
Okay. So that's gonna be 6 down, so he's down to 31 SFR,
Mm-hmm.
and he's gonna react again because he's got 3 attacks,
Yep.
and then he snaps like that and goes. And he does that, and he causes the basically the asphalt to kind of melt around them, so like a quagmire.
Okay. Let's see what we got going on here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
So degree of 9, or is he's just doing an area effect?
This will be an 8, and you're just going to try and create a widened strip of like camouflaged entrapment right there.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Let's see what we got.
It's like speed skating, you just need to trip the one in front, and they'll take out the rest.
He's gonna pump in 3 luck, so he's down to 2 luck
Okay.
to 2 degrees of success.
Yep, good enough. Again, you create another strip
No.
of area that's sort of in a wide expanse, but it looks like asphalt until it's disturbed. You can feel the magic actually take part, though, those molecules and their standard properties and rearrange the properties, making them become much more like quicksand. There are 4 of 6 of the others that were unaffected so far from the initial, attack that you had, which we'll get to the effect of the actual I don't remember what you call it, friction curse. We'll get to them, but 6 of them slip into this mire, thrashing about, unable to really figure out what's happening. It looks just like liquid asphalt, and so they're trying to get themselves through, but you've effectively stopped them. 2 of those 6, however, leap right over the top of it, clearing it, and are still headed this way.
And he goes, Barrick, are you busy, buddy?
He's just reloading. He's popped the shotgun back into his arm. He's reloading. He goes, "Yep, I see him."
So when he reloads, does he just do this?
No.
And
No,
for
actually,
his,
the barrel
his-
breaches to the side, and he just goes shunk, and then just pops it back, and it loads it into the arm again.
Yeah.
and then
So he's like a Pez dispenser.
so essentially instead of his third melee action, he's going to shift. So as he's going, Barrick, hey buddy, you busy? You doing anything? And then all of a sudden, you just see like him shudder, and then the bastard goes, "But I'm certainly not. Hello, lovely puppies."
You see
Yeah.
Ivar right now, who's bent over in this like utter squat, like look over and goes, "Bastard."
How you
Hi,
doing,
buddy.
Ivor? How you doing, Ivor? You look a little
Oh.
shitty there.
I feel so much lighter.
And he looks. He's like not paying attention to the hellhounds at this point. Says, "Well, I mean, you certainly know how to clear a room. Whoa, what'd you eat?
Of course, you've got Richard
Man,
on
the
the back
arse end
end.
of Satan's taint."
You've got Richard at the back of the actual fight. Who's at the far back part of the conflict. He's just sort of like, well, the reason I was trying to tell you, or the reason why I showed up, is that I can't find the leader to this particular nest. He's got to be out here at ground level somewhere. Well,
All right.
Barrick, you're up.
So Barrick's gonna do a tactics roll.
All right. Friggin' cheesy bread.
So 18 tactics roll. He's trying to decide if he should stick with the handgun or if he should go for spray and spray.
The plasma rifle.
Yeah.
All right.
Based
Well,
on targets
number of-
and
Yeah, the number of
soft and hard
targets you do know that there are going to be a larger number of vampiric influences in this fight that have not yet showed themselves. Whichever, unless there's something that happens that brings brings down the other 4 that were trapped, and the other 2, which by the way, the other 2 that were actually hit with that friction curse, you see them that just like they had rippled and taken fire, almost like they were passing through re-entry, and it's just like flakes of flesh and such like that. They're all scorched, but they had to stop with where they're at, just howls of pain whenever that had originally occurred. But you've got 2 that are still oncoming, undaunted by any of the traps laid by Colt, and you've got 4 that are struggling to get out of that mire that they were trying to when they were in their mid-rush. But you've got Dravis also reporting that the civilians are nearly out.
Okay. So I think what he's gonna do is since he's got his handguns out, or his handgun out already, I think with the 2 that are oncoming, he's gonna split, do 3 shots, and then assess and see if he needs to, take new targets.
All right.
3 shots per bogey that's coming at you.
Yeah, because there's the 2 that are coming. And he's at... I still have a few turns left on my enhanced reflex, so... I'm at a 30. Alright, 3 shots for the first one.
Let her rip.
And 3 shots for the second one.
Oh man, you got hitting some ones there.
So,
Okay. Yeah.
so 32, 36, 31 for, we'll say, the one on the left, and then 38, 39, 35 for the one on the right.
So the one, since it's not being corrected, is only a miss as opposed to a jam or something else like that. The so 5 of 6 shots make their mark, and these rounds are
These are my standard go-to is the Hallowed.
hallowed rounds. Okay.
Everything we've been fighting is supernatural.
Doesn't like the Holly.
Well, so what's the damage per round again?
The damage per round
Or damage per
Is
bullet? Probably be
26.
a way of saying it. Okay.
is an AP 6 and the damage is 26.
Yeah. All right.
What
So
are you pointing out with your thumb there, Drew?
Oh, I'm trying to figure out what Ivar is going to be doing.
Oh, okay.
so
I
You
just
end
see
up
like
taking-
Ivar sitting there, just like.
Wiping.
wiping.
Ugh.
Ew.
Hey, but it's like that wipe of like when you're deep in thought while you're actually on the can. It's
It's
that.
like a marker, no matter how much you wipe.
Chris Pratt is hilarious.
Alright, D.
Your shots hit, but they don't do anything significant. There's not even a reaction in terms of the hollowed rounds themselves. It doesn't seem to you that this is the similar kind of it's not the same kind of prey you would expect to be hit by these types of bullets, because there's no burning or any indication that the rounds themselves are doing any kind of aggravated damage.
Alright.
So they pursue now that they're pissed off. They seem to have taken the hits, but they're bleeding. You managed to get through through their chitinous armor, but you're still having difficulty with, obviously the rounds themselves seem to be unsophisticated for the meetings.
Alright. Let's go down to 53. And what is the... Am I able to, like, change ammunition? Or is that too complicated to do between firing?
If you, how many attacks do you have left?
I have one more ranged attack.
Okay. Well, you only fired because you only had one pistol out.
I only have one pistol, one handgun. So I did one attack of 6 shots, and I can it holds 10, so I can do 4 more shots before I have to reload.
No, that's a horny beesh.
Oh, the speech.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So here's what you do. You'll just go ahead and roll your gun kata. Alright? And you'll do a combat load. Or a combat reload. You remember from the Expendables, right? Where he just like drops the clip
Yeah.
and slides another one in. So you'll just do that. That'll eat up one of your shots if you're going to continue to use the pistol. And then you can
Okay.
fire off the other 5.
Okay, so I'll just do my gun kata's 23.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, that's perfect.
Okay,
So you basically just pick out a different magazine and load it.
Yeah, so I'm gonna load it with silver rounds just to see if different flavor.
He's out there hypothesizing and experimenting.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right. So the one that I only got 2 shots hit, I'm gonna hit him, go 3 for that one, and then 2 for the other,
Alrighty.
and a crit.
Right off the
Yowzers.
bat. Oh shit!
Oh, double explosion.
Yeah, that
Okay.
one shot is gonna go good.
Yeah, because that's 27 on the die, and you were at a base 30, so that just means
That's,
that you had a 57 on that first shot.
Oh, those are my 3 shots. That's what I was doing.
right.
well,
but you
yeah,
still
but
have to
those
roll
10
for the
exploded.
exploding tens.
Yeah, so I'll
So
roll
your
the
first shot.
exploder. First exploding is a
Okay,
additional
that's
4.
44. 41.
41. So 44, 41, and 37. And then
Oh,
for
see,
the
I was hoping you'd make one shot do like 57.
and then the other one gets 2, so 36 and a 32.
All right.
And this is with the silver rounds. I don't have different damage for each of these rounds. It just says that the gun does 26.
So, in this case, you wind up taking down that one. Again, no visceral reaction from the first three shots into that. You don't see that, nothing smoking, nothing indicating any kind of aggravated damage whatsoever. But it does drop right there, sliding to a stop amidst all of the flood of flaming diarrhea that's still out there in the street, as it wasn't able to redirect itself beforehand. The other one comes sprinting around at the actual semi-truck, trying to take a more less obvious route. And I believe you have 2 more shots left. Yes, because you only fired 3.
The
Oh.
last 2 just happened.
I did the last 2, 36 and a 32 at the
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay,
at the second one.
all right. Yeah, it ends up taking same reaction, although it seems to shrug off this particular attack much more easily. All right, so you watch these guys get basically the onslaught of these ugly ass chitinous dogs. These dire wolves that come running at you are mostly disabled, with only one having managed to reach past the punk knot and into the crowd and into the main combat zone. You're still hovering up top, and it's up to you to decide what you're going to be doing next.
Who's you?
That would be you, Ken.
Oh, okay. I thought you
Yeah.
might have been talking to me, but
Did I say Riv or Ken? Did I say anything like that? I think I missed it.
no, you just said you
Yeah,
just started
sorry.
describing what was happening.
You just
I'm
said
like
you.
looking at him and I'm going like,
Well, you said
clearly he can
hovering,
see
and so
my
I
eye
figured it wasn't
contact
me.
through the screen.
So, to be clear, we had 9 wolves to start with. Bill took out 3, or he stopped 3 of them. 2
No,
of them got
4.
through.
You got
4?
He stopped
6
4.
total.
Oh, he stopped 6.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
not
I thought-
6, but of the 6, 2 of them got out.
Oh, see, I heard wrong because I thought the second attack I thought was okay.
Master note taker.
Eric's making these mental notes. Okay, not hallowed, not silver. Explosive next.
So 6 are gone, then 2 are gone, so now there's 2 left.
Right.
Right.
There's one in the far back which basically slowed after the original friction curse took out 2 of the 3 that it originally ran with. There were 6 others that had been running across, 4 of which dropped into the mire. Then the two that managed to figure out what was going on leapt over that. One was shot and killed by Barrick.
Got it. Okay, so there's 2 left. What's the you kind of described it at the beginning, but what's the state of the vamps right now? And what's the golem doing?
Well, the golem at the moment is coming around the other side of the punk knot at this time. So it's basically coming around towards the towards the west side of the street, which is going to be, if you're facing south, that's to your right.
Got it. And what's the punk knot and the
The original punks that
vamps.
were involved in all this conflict to start with have completely been wasted. None of them are
Okay.
left.
punks are gone? And how about the original group of vamps?
Those 2 are dead. We haven't seen the other ones yet. We had an estimation that there were maybe 5. Some of them got caught up in Ivar's nastiness, and then we have one that was, delivered to the pearly gates by a super shotgun, and we had another that was taken care of by Bill and his little tete-a-tete hand-to-hand combat scenario.
The one was killed by Scott. One was killed by Bill.
To your knowledge, there are 4 vampires down. You do not see others yet.
Okay.
Riv's just
Taking survey.
I'm just trying to think of what I can do. I guess I'm gonna roll tactics.
You have a
I'd
flaming shit spell you could do while you're flying up there. That could.
rain hell on them. Let's see what my tactics skill is. Oh. Well. Okay. So my tactics say shit. I'm just enjoying flying apparently.
So no
It's
hint,
like,
you're just
"Ooh,
like,
ice
I'll go
cream."
for that one! Like, yeah.
I guess I'm just gonna fire a few shots off at the closest enemy, which sounds like the dire wolf, huh?
Well, the one of these like horror wolves is actually rushing towards Barrack, Ivar, and Richard at this time. Looks wounded, so you might be able to wipe it out
Is that the closest one to me?
more or less.
Then
You're
that's what I'm
up in
shooting
the
for.
air, so
Well, I know, but yeah, ornithogally speaking,
yeah.
ornithogally. That's a hard word. All right. My next skill I'm gonna learn is to make it so they can do 2 melee attacks at once, but because then I'd be able to shoot off 6 of my shots.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna shoot 3 magic bolts.
All right, lobbing away.
I do 3 rolls for that.
Yeah, because you're making 3 separate shots. It's gonna be the like your will plus melee, then the D10.
Oh, I've never added my will.
Well, yeah, you have, because whenever you're
I
doing these shots, it's based off of melee because you're basically throwing them, because they don't auto target, but you have to do will plus your melee rank plus the D10 because your will is what's guiding the shot.
Oh,
Get it?
see, I haven't been doing that this whole time. I've only just been using my will, or my melee skill. So, oops.
See, what's your skill rank in melee?
My melee skill.
Yeah.
What's
What's the skill rank just by itself?
7.
Okay, so your will is what?
My will is 7 as well.
So you have a 14 to lob these.
Huh?
You have a 14.
Well,
Will plus skill rank of 7 is 14 because it's 7 and 7.
but I've been putting in 23 because that's what my wills or my melee's. It's reflex and synergy of body.
Right. You're not doing reflex with. You're not going to be doing reflex with your shots that are magical. Like I said, it's your will guides magical shots.
So I've just been doing it wrong this whole time. Sorry.
Yeah. No, that's all right.
It's okay. I was doing it wrong too before.
Yeah.
let
Anytime
me
that you're
put this in
doing
a
like
note.
magical attacks, any kind of like skill magical attack relies off the will, then whatever your skill rank is, and then goes from there. It's like your core stat. It becomes your core stat for that purpose.
Remember in the early days, Barrack was throwing down like plus 45 or whatever.
Let me redo those then.
Okay.
The 2 shots I fired off were from just reflex, not will.
Ha 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 ha. That ain't bad. That ain't bad at all, man. Very nice. Those are actually really good.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let's see here. Okay. So it looks like those 3 shots hit.
They do 63. They're AP mundane, stun, and I gained all my mana back.
Don't you love that?
Actually, I want. So at some point, I want to make it so I actually spend more mana because I regain so much of it back. I've never actually gone below max.
Well, you should be able to like pump your mana pool up so that you can like use a lot more.
Well, would it
Or
be?
you're ready to use.
I'm thinking that maybe after this fight, I can learn how to use my magic bolts to pump them up so that I use more mana to shoot them. Because right
Yeah.
now they only cost 1 mana.
Well, they're not doing like catastrophic amounts of damage, and they have a slightly lower like a slightly lower accuracy than a lot of your other skills. So there is a balancing factor there.
I know, but I like my magic bolts.
Yeah, we'll amp it up, obviously, because I think that'd be fine. Overload them just like you overload everything else.
Alright.
So yeah, I mean, you hit this thing, it's in mid-leap trying to get to where it's at. It reaches about half the distance between Punk Knot and where the corner of the street is. It gets about halfway across that range. 3 bolts come down out of the sky and nail it straight in the back, causing it to completely rupture from the right-hand side where the impacts are. You see its leg just go flying off while the next 2 completely eradicate it in a spray of gore that just splatters across like a bug hitting a windshield.
Ugh.
It didn't have that much health left, so you really overkilled it.
No kill like overkill.
Yeah, that's truth. If you want, you can make a combat sense awareness since you literally have field of vision across the entire battle area.
Seems reasonable. I'm at a very advantageous position right now. I actually considered at one point, like, having her land and use one of her runes and see what happens, but right now she's just having a hell of a time flying around.
She's just enjoying herself.
I am. I mean, she flew off right away. She always, Riv on the inside loves getting the wings. I mean, who wouldn't? Okay. You know what? I'm gonna re-roll that one. I don't want the, when combat extends. I don't want a 1. Luck spent 2. Oh, okay. I'll take that. Okay, so 13 plus 1. So, wait, no, sorry. 19 plus 10 plus 3.
Yeah. So that's 32. Alright. You, you surveying the area here, you see that there is an emergence of several other hostiles in the area. You've got buildings on either side. You're in the thick part of, Night City, so there's multiples, like a lot of these buildings reach anywhere between 12 and 15 stories, depending on where you're at, and you're sort of hovering up in the middle of it. You start to see these figures moving and shifting from out of various windows. There's also kind of a power fluctuation that you notice, like there's lights flickering and a lot of different kinds of disturbances that seem to be occurring, which is very evident of supernatural activity in just about every way. But based on quick head count, you've got about 6 or so more hostiles starting to crawl out of the woodwork from the various building and windows. More worrisome than that, however, is the the sudden realization that your golem is actually having some trouble. There is an individual that it encountered just before you send off your shots, where he gets into a hand-to-hand fight, and you can see your golem gets kicked to the chest and goes tumbling across the sidewalk, taking out all the parking meters and embedding itself into one of the sidecars. And it's just this casual walking man who's probably looks to be late 20s, really well fit, clean shaven, wearing a business suit. He even puts down a briefcase. And just kind of takes and unbuzzes the cuffs of each side of his sleeves and just shakes his hands out and starts approaching your golem at this point. You don't even know exactly what had happened. You just hear the tink and then pong, and it goes flying all the way out, and you can feel that there's inside your own mind, it's the first time you've ever seen your golem actually take any significant amount of a pummeling, that you actually get the feeling of warning, basically, integrity is starting to dwindle a little bit because that hit was massive.
Okay, well, the first thing I'm going to do then is pull him back to deactivate the spell.
Right.
Or the rune.
Yep, you just call him back, or you basically, you dismiss it.
Well, in this case, he actually has to come back to me.
Yeah.
So that will be the end of my round.
Okay.
But while he's coming back and is like, oh, we got a big baddie. In the middle, where did he come out of?
He came on the west side of the street heading north.
So Riv's gonna say, west side, big bad. That's all she's gonna say. Really
Good
fast.
enough. Calling out them shots.
Everything okay up there, Riv?
Did you not hear what I said? Big bad, west side.
Big bad.
Dravis just calls back in. He's like, civilians are out of the way. I'm on it. Like, basically responding to your call out. Dravis goes jumping across several of these vehicles, coming up in full armor and gear, like the subtle glow of the various arcane lettering all throughout the armor itself. He goes to engage this target. Yeah. Fires off several shots. They are rapidly coming out of his weapon. You can see where the impacts are hitting across the wall. There seems to be a little bit of a nick as one of the shots clips the the vamp in the left shoulder, causing him to like look down, look to the side, and then he shifts with his own celerity, moving out of the way. And he's kind of like, you've got Dravis now towards the center of the battle area, trying to prevent the vampire's advance. Of course, now everybody's starting to notice that other vampires are beginning to appear in various areas, and there seems to be a shift of darkness coming down around that same centralized zone.
Oh, by the way, you guys are surrounded.
Holy shit. Alright, Colt, your position is right there on the punk knot pretty much, so you hear the shots crack off, you see the golem get his ass kicked, and then recalled. Right now,
what's that look like? Like Transformers?
Well, he just basically goes, he kind of folds inward just like that. It looks like interlocking gears, actually, and then just goes whipping up into the air and then attaches to your arm. Oh, God. Plasma time. I love it. So, yeah. Alright, so, Colt, they come at you rapidly.
All the vampires or the...
Two of the vampires that are in your area come at you with melee attacks. So here's the first one. You've got to make a defense roll. You've got to make 3 of them because they're slashing claws at you.
Oh, right, he's doing defense. I was going to what about Ivar? Like, he's here. This is the enemy's move,
Yes,
isn't
it is.
Okay.
So 3 of them. Okay.
Yep.
God, I love that movie.
What is that, Wagons East? Or, oh no, Django Unchained?
No, that's Back
That's
to
Back to the
3.
Future.
Back to the Future?
Mm-hmm.
Back to the Future 3.
Doo-doo. But forfeit? But can he do that?
Scott.
And we're gonna turn that one upside down, and we're down to 1 luck.
Alright, so you boosted it to a 2, so you got 25, 28, 27.
Yep, just dodging.
Yep. Okay, roll 3 more, please, because you've got, like I said, you got 2 vampires rocking celerity right now, and they are trying to cut you down.
Wonderful.
What's celerity?
Celerity is the vampiric speed. It allows them to take several actions around.
31, 28, and 25.
Okay. Alright, take 4. And your armor was...
My armor is 41.
Right. Okay. Alright, so more or less, you're standing there defending yourself. You start trying to make jukesing dodge. These vamps come from 2 different angles. One coming first, swiping with his claws multiple times. You get hit by 2 of them, and then the one at the back flank comes in and tears into you a couple more times as well. You take a total of 100 damage between these 4 strikes that make contact.
Good God. Can I trigger my regeneration at this time?
Yeah. I mean, you could definitely just be like, okay, gotta burn a little bit of that to regenerate.
Okay, so we're down to he's gonna basically go 60% of his health back up.
Okay.
Wow. What did you do to do that?
I have 2 ranks of regeneration, so I get 20% for every what is it?
You get 20 points, I believe.
Right. Regeneration. Per SFR burned in combat round, a demon can claim 20% of their total HP for every 2 points spent this way.
I think it was supposed to be 20 points, not 20%. That's a weird...
Okay, well, I'll change it to 20 points then.
Yeah. I know for a fact it's not 20%. It's weird that we're finding
Okay.
these little flaws.
Okay, so he's Yeah.
Well, mine was just a driver
Oh.
error. I was just doing it wrong.
Oh,
Right.
he's fine.
Yeah. All right. So, you burn out so far. You push the damage off. You feel the burn and the agony coming into your body for a minute, which, unlike most other targets who would suffer damage, kind of makes you feel great. But you know that you can't suffer the damage to, you can't suffer the damage because it means that there's other issues that could come of it. So yeah, they just lay down this barrage and they get after you for that. Riv, you're up in the mid-air. You've got somebody who seems to notice that you're hovering up top, and it looks like your position has been compromised. You can see one of these shadowy-like figures in the midst of this darkness, which makes it harder to see because you can see the average, or like the light that seems to be saturating the street and everything else. It's like somebody turns down the dimmers, saturating things in shadow, making it much more complicated for you to penetrate through and see what's going on. But you've got one vamp who is on the ground. Looks like he's fairly strong. He's got a very punk-like figure to him, but he's got this big and brawny type of musculature. He appears from out of shadow, picks up the smaller car, and like hurls it in your direction, trying to see if he can't take you out of the air. Your dodge, bro. Your dodge or parry. I don't know what you'd parry with, but I'd be interested to see what you'd come up with for that.
I cast Golem.
Oh god.
Yeah, really.
That'd be a lucky fucking roll, too.
Do a barrel roll.
Well, you took what I was gonna say.
Oh.
I was gonna say do a barrel roll. Well, luckily, since I'm in space or flying, I mean, I am not limited to just 2 planes.
Yep, that's true.
So I'm just gonna go up, dodge.
Alright, so you're gonna just like kind of go up at an angle there to try and counter it.
What direction is it coming at me?
Well, it's coming from you at the bottom like it was coming like this, but it's coming at an angle. So if you're here, the car is kind of coming up like this, trying to clip you out.
Okay.
So if you go up and over like that, if you try to beat it means that you're...
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we're on the same page. Okay, so dodge.
Thank you, Bill.
Do a barrel roll.
Ooh.
This is kind of where I wish you had your superhuman strength active, so you could just like
I was just
like snag it out of you, but not stop it. Just go boot and spin it around and hook it back.
Yeah. Well, I got my golem back, so the next round is I'm gonna be hunting.
Does your golem like if you collapse your golem and bring him back out a second time, does he come back at full strength?
He
Oh
does.
yeah, he's completely
Yep.
18. I'll take that. Just one
Nice.
dodge, right?
One dodge, yep. There's only one vehicle coming at you, and you... Alright, yep. So you basically go whoop like that. You can feel the car go like that. You take... you can feel that it clips like the base of your feet, causing this like shudder effect to go through your body. You narrowly escaped being completely slammed by it. You're only going to take about 15 damage as it goes whirling up by. I mean, you didn't quite get nailed, but I mean, you felt it in both of your feet. Like your ankles are like throbbing just because of how close that came. Yeah. God damn. That's amazing,
No, that's amazing.
too. That's amazing. That guy had no
That
chance.
hurt. That hurt. Nice.
Shit almighty. Okay. All right.
Well, the shit almighty happened before.
Yeah, that is true. Okay, Barrick, make me 3 dodges, please. There is a vampire that closes distance up front. Ivar, I want you to make me a will check, please.
Do I have a target?
Yeah, it's gonna be 10.
Okay.
I'm gonna
God.
use
Fuck.
luck on that bot.
Ah!
I'm gonna
That's my
burn the
reaction
luck on
too.
that botch.
I really wish the GIFs would have showed, like, in the... I gotta get that figured out at some point where I can get the GIFs to show up too, because, oh my god.
By the way, that's Ivar's position right now.
Yeah. Alright, let's see here.
So I have a.
So why? So if that's Ivar's position, shouldn't it be the other creatures that need to take a will check and not him? I'm asking for a friend.
I appreciate the humor on that one.
27,
Ivar's gonna
29,
spend the last...
and 25.
I'm sorry, Scott, you can go.
For my 3 dodges, I have a 27, 29, and 25.
Gotcha.
Ivar's going to spend a little luck and bump one of those 9s up to a 10. And he
Gotcha.
is now out of luck.
Shit out of luck, you might say. I thought you'd like that.
Yep. Is that one? Okay, that's what I thought. He ended up against. Alright. Oh wow, that's so weird how it's narrowing out. Okay, so Barrick, you sense it coming on. You try to, parry with your claws. It winds up that this opponent is faster than you. They end up getting 3 swipes in, causing 100 damage total, and knocking you back up against the actual street side and around the corner. Richard takes a defensive posture near where you are to keep you from being completely overrun. Another one of his compatriots decides to take Richard on. Nope. That's a boy. Thank God Richard's got luck too. Richard ends up taking a single hit but defends against 2 others. He ends up basically standing where Barrick's at, manages to deflect 2 of the shots, taking 1 scratch across the chest area. He ends up kind of ducking back a little bit, getting into a low posture and staying where Barrick is now sort of on the ground and trying to prevent him from being exposed. Ivar, what did you end up doing with your roll since you had 0 successes there?
He used his luck and bumped 1 up to 1 degree of success.
Alright, good man. You,
Because it's Ivar's literally bent over, and it's just like, he's like, ooh, that doesn't, like, it's that look of, like, when you're looking between your legs, and you're like, wait a second, that's not right. And he just, like, flexes and clenches that ass. And you can take it from there.
Well, I mean, you cringe and then pull back a little bit, but you feel this incredible, powerful onslaught of this emotional manipulation starting to cascade through you because you catch sight of the leader on the other side, and there's this sense of, like, awe that is trying to overwhelm your senses. He's not even directly, like, in contact or even directly in conflict with you, but you can see that the aura and the presence and the rest of it is just overwhelming, and it's pouring out across this entire area. You can barely see him with this, like,
I'm just in awe of this vampire.
well, almost. Like, you're like, no. Like, you're just, it's one of those things where it's like you felt like you were going to be compelled to be that way, but it doesn't, it deteriorates. And then you have a secondary kind of like shadowy like silhouette that comes to rush your position. But, at this time, let's see here. Yeah, it's another one of those. Like, I can't remember. Ivar, you've got one vampy that is basically trying to seize up on your initially thought distraction, and so it looks like he's rushing your position now. So you can do 3 dodges or use your reality manipulation to defend yourself. Yeah.
Before we do that, remember Ivar does have his True Faith activated.
Yes, but
Doesn't
the creature
Ivar
does.
automatically have 1 success on will checks?
Huh?
That's Ken. Ken
I
has
don't.
that ability.
I don't.
I thought Ivar automatically had 1 success on the will.
If you can find it, it'll mean that's 2. Either way, he's still succeeded
you're-
against the initial roll.
I know I have that, but I thought that Ivar had
No,
gave him a 1 success.
hold on. I do have an item that gives me something like that. Under my gear. It's not the ward bracelet. It's not my magical woody ring. Let's see here. It was I bet it when we were in Oh, here it is. A pennant. It's a will save to prevent paradox.
Right.
But this isn't paradox.
No.
This
is
isn't a
just,
case of paradox.
This was an emotional attack.
Okay, so I have a question right now. So this one's coming towards Ivar, and you needed Ivar to make a...
He needs to make a defensive roll of some kind so that we know exactly how he's going to intend to defend himself.
Like a dodge or a parry sort of thing.
Right. Of course, he's like... this,
Psychological dodge.
right, well, the other thing, too,
I-
is that Barrick is also correct. He does have his will... He does have his true faith on. So, Ivar may choose to just stand there and just kind of stare at the guy and see what happens.
Would Ivar, in this instance, also since he has his danger awareness, danger sense, would that, because he's at a level 4 on that, would that give him sort of like the reflex that looks like he's reacting very fast, but it's just like he sensed this danger quick enough to be like, oh, yeah. And then his response is almost a reality shift.
Well, he can use
defensive
reality
move.
shift as a defensive tactic, yes. So, I mean, like, you have the opportunity to do just that now. Like I said, you can even choose to see what happens with your true faith as well. Because, like I said, Barrick is totally correct.
Yeah, does Ivar know that these are vampires? Is he
Yes.
aware of that? Okay,
Yeah.
so he's aware of that. And he's aware through his just general occult that ultraviolet does not go well with vampires. Is that
Yes,
correct?
he's aware that sunlight and vampires don't mix.
And what's the current weather like?
It's always cloudy, smoggy up top.
Does Ivar have enough in his bubble of reality shift to part the clouds and just send forth pure ultraviolet?
Wait, isn't it at night though? No, we're in the middle of the day, aren't we?
You've got 180 feet. That is not nearly enough to part clouds.
Okay. Is Ivar able to take the light particles that are just naturally in the air and condense them down into pure ultraviolet?
Make a magnifying
Rays.
glass. Make a lens.
Almost like a magnifying glass.
Well, and you
Like
guys are...
Make a lens.
This is still in the evening. It's at night. So you'd have to be working off of moonlight. You could also conjure or create, ultraviolet radiation or light in that particular way in in a manner to defend yourself in this particular way. Absolutely. You could just manifest it off yourself or manifest it off an object or in thin air.
So
It doesn't really
it's almost like
I've got
Ivar.
UV rounds. I mean,
yeah.
You would become
Well, no.
the sun.
What I'm curious here, and I'm just trying to understand the logistics of how I want to envision this to see if this is something that Ivar would look at. I'm wondering when Ken uses his true sight and he looks at Ivar, he always sees like light and shit bouncing off him that's completely chaotic. Like I almost like imagine Ivar in that sense is grabbing that light and making it manifest in reality and sending forth that as an ultraviolet
You could just do like a flash,
sort of like-
basically.
yeah, he's like doing a flash of ultraviolet that he's sending out that he's just like, oh,
Yep. Trying to divert it.
but he's doing it all.
Right.
where the sun
Right
don't
down
shine.
there.
It's where the sun do shine.
It's where the sun do shine.
No, the
I
sun
almost
shines
feel
now.
like the sunlight is shining out of his arse.
Right.
What's Ivar's target?
Well, it's a fairly simple concept. You're gonna hit it with 7 easy.
So Ivar, you just see him bending over here, and at first he's like, ah! and he notices these things rushing at him, and all of a sudden, let there be light.
Sure enough, that's good enough. So it's kind of a double whammy because they aren't able to really fully pick up the actual threat that you have within 10 feet of you until they kind of reach that barrier. He gets up real close, hits the barrier, and goes, comes back off of it and hisses. Like all of his little obfuscating effects just dissipate, and so he can't reach you. And then all of a sudden you flash this light, basically taking a gigantic snapshot from a Polaroid camera out of your asshole. And so he just gets this like that. That vamp is off and running. Like he just basically ducks for cover because he has no idea what to expect after that. Let's see
And
here.
Ivar just at this point is like, What is going on? I don't understand. And he's slowly getting up, and he's like, I want to be impressed by you, but I'm not. But I want to be. Who are you? What do you want? And he's just staring at this big vampire, and this like curious, like Ivar is like the bum who thinks he actually matters, but he doesn't.
So Dravis ends up taking up one of taking up with the leader. The leader is focusing on that because you guys can pretty much just estimate that he's either the leader or one of the higher ups. But he engages the businessman vampire center side, and ends up basically trying to take a pod shot again. Can't do it. The vamp rushes up on his person too hard. He ends up juking one like overarching blow towards his head. Ends up backing up once more as this like a kick to try and push him away would have made contact, and then the vamp rushes it with his shoulder, slamming directly into his chest, causing him to do the same thing the golem did and go bouncing off the inside of his corridor, landing at the north side of the street where the intersection comes in. You just hear him going ugh, like that as he actually lands and goes to a stop. He's still together, but it's clear that he took a little
That hurt.
Yeah. All right. And then we have Richard.
That was just all the attackers.
Yeah, that was just all of your enemies right there.
I'm at half health.
I got grazed and I'm already 3 pain levels in.
Richard tries to take on the one that's actually hovering too close to where Barrick is at. He gets a couple swipes with the sword, manages to come close to actual contact with the first one, and then the vamp manages to disarm him, causing the weapon to get flung out of his hand. However, he makes contact with the blade and the handle when he makes this disarm, and you can see something rather not horrifying, but strange, because as he smacks the blade out of his hand, there are these strange, almost like threads that have attached to the back of its hand. And you don't know where they came from, but they're silvery, and you can see them just barely in some of the street light that's still available.
That's a cute cat.
All right, Ivar, you are now up for your attack,
Spoiled
sir.
cat.
That's a happy looking cat though.
Didn't see a cat at first. I was very confused. Oh, there we go. Lem.
How close is Ivar? Just after he sees what happens using his ultraviolet ass, he kind of gets on the comms. He's like, "Barrick, are you there?"
Ugh.
Even though you're like 15 feet away and using comms.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
game night from last night. Sending the paper across the street.
Ivar's like, "Barrick, do you have your ultraviolet bullets?
I do.
I want this one here.
Would you like me to help you make them bigger?"
I'm okay.
No. You don't understand. Ivar make them more powerful. Ivar's idea is to use that amplify ability he has to send those ultraviolet and make them not bullets but ultraviolet missiles to launch at this guy.
Right, you're trying to push it up into that 20 millimeter range instead of 10, that kind of shit.
Yeah. Barrick, do you think you could be ready for that?
I mean, I was gonna use the plasma, but
I can make plasma bigger.
Plasma would actually work out just fine given the fact that you're dealing with radiation, and he can basically tweak that and amplify it.
Do it. Make it so.
all right.
So it's the bubble of reality shift. It is a target of 8. Is that correct?
Yes. So you're gonna basically hold that action for Barrick. You're just rolling on it now.
I'm gonna roll on it now, but it's gonna be a held action. Like he's prepping this.
Right. He's gonna basically wait until Barrick goes to give him the boost. Got it. All right.
Eric's like leaking transmission fluid. He's like putting the.
He's got green antifreeze just pouring out.
That's 4 degrees of success.
Oh fuck yeah! That
Damn,
would be
dude.
awesome.
The 10, the 10, the 8, the 8, and then the 1 in the second roll doesn't count. It's 4 degrees of success.
That's beautiful.
So Ivar just kind of like gets up, and he's like, "Oh, I feel so much better. Here, Beric." And he just starts to like,
All right.
he starts working his magic while it's waiting for Beric to show up.
All right. You've got 2 hostiles on you, Colt. You're up next. This is your fight now. They're standing.
Okay.
They're standing at your 11 and 2 o'clock because you rear to face them, and they're basically standing at an angle.
So he's going to do. He's listening. You got the bastard just going. I mean, Ever's not full of shit all the time. and then he,
right now.
it's just like, oh, you think you're smooth? Well, this is John's thing, but just kind of snaps his fingers like that because you can just hear John in the background of the skull going, "You motherfucker!" And we're gonna have 2 chains each for the vampires
Okay.
coming like surprise underneath,
Right.
and then he's gonna cast a 5th chain around the big bad.
Okay.
And as he does that, and if he pulls off the one around the big bad, he's going to give Beric a wink.
Yeah.
Okay, stitching change. That's 23.
Oh, that's not good.
But
The Dixie Fire is 13 miles from Joan.
Oh.
I've been following it, and I just got a news thing that it's blown. And so they're ordering an evacuation of the town.
your town or
Okay.
No, this is my great
further
aunt.
north.
She lives out in the middle, north of Reno.
Hmm.
And the biggest fire in California just crested over the mountain. Once it's over the mountain, it's a straight shot to her house.
So 26, 27, and then the 30 at the big bad.
Rightio. All right. So you snag the vamp with chains on your 2 o'clock. The one on your 11, like, more or less does this strange thing where he almost backs up, goes on all fours, and just kind of like jumps over and leaps onto one of the cars as the chains come out. And you actually notice something whenever you're launching it towards the big bad, because he ends up looking downward the second the chain is about ready to emerge. It means that he has a certain sense of how this stuff goes on. He seems to be very hyper aware. The chain comes up, rips right into his leg a little bit, and then there's like a subtle scream, and then all the pain is there, and then you see him just evacuate into mist all of a sudden, the chain going loose and dissipating.
And he goes, well, that's just not fair.
so what happened? So both of the vamps that he went with the 2 chains got out of him.
Two escaped, one got hit. So one is
So-
snagged and
got
2
hit.
got out. Yeah.
Yeah, one got snagged and took 100 damage.
Yep. Which
That was
causes
the big
Uh,
bad took that, right?
And no, that's the one that was the one of my 2 o'clock. The big bad took a 50 scrape.
Yep. Yeah, took a hit to that, and so yeah, I mean the one that your 2 o'clock is just basically shuddering and screaming for half a moment before the chains finally withdraw and cause him to burst into ash at that point because he's gone.
All right. We're going to do a tactics roll.
Yep.
Kind of evaluate where the dissipated enemy is. Okay, I think it's 19, but let me check. Yeah. Uh, 28 for tactics to figure out where the dissipated target went.
Well, the fog is remaining in the combat area, shifting and moving at a lull, like you'd expect fog to move.
And he goes, And he kind of looks up, like, it's like, Johnny boy, are you thinking what we're thinking? I think you are. And then he shifts, so we use with that one. We use that melee action to flip into John, and then John is going to use 5 SFR to freeze the fog.
All right.
So basically, it's basically he's using the natural atmosphere because it's a fog,
Yep.
and pulling the heat out so that the fog itself freezes.
Right.
That's one way to incapacitate him.
And that'll be the last of the cult's actions.
Gotcha.
What's the difficulty?
Difficulty would be 9. You're trying to resist his will.
Okay, that's fair. And we're going to use my last bit of luck to bump that into 2 degrees of success.
Good, you beat him by 1. Okay, so yeah, you start to cause this like rapid loss of heat in the central area, right where that's at. Yeah, pretty much. The fog begins to like slump, becoming more and more clung to the earth, the ground, the asphalt. There's a bunch of frost that starts to, peek out in and around the cars and vehicles from where it originally started. And then, you kind of got this point. You still have the one that juked the chains at the initial point, but you see he's doing this sort of wide berth circle, still on all fours, trying to gauge what your next move is going to be. And so that's kind of where you're left at this point. Barrick, it is now your turn to let her rip.
All right, so Barrick's gonna pick himself up.
Mm-hmm. So you're like that. You still feel like shit, but you've got the rifle in place. You hear the like that as it charges up, and you're ready for your barrage.
Yeah, he's got Scott preparing for him.
Ready when you are, Barrick.
So my 2 nearest targets are the one that evaded the chains and.
You have several that are in and around the perimeter.
Then several that are.
Yeah, there are several that are around in the perimeter. They are avoiding actively the area that was affected by the giant volley of crap that was like thrown down on the east side of the street. So, yeah, you've got south to west, and an angle of fire going all across that way with probable targets.
What's my backstop?
What's your backstop?
Yeah, what's behind them?
Buildings. Buildings,
collateral
cars, vehicles,
damage.
things. Yeah,
Commercial, residential.
Well, this is all streets and stuff. You got shops down on the baseline. There's probably apartment complexes that are actually at mid to upper levels, but it kind of depends. But down at the ground level, it's mostly shops and things like that because you guys are in a more business type of zone.
All right, I just don't want to, kill some small child.
Well,
so
nobody's out here playing stickball right now.
Well, got a range of 600 yards or whatever.
Oh my god.
So, with his first volley of 30, he's kind of gonna just do that pan in the south to west quadrant.
Yep. Where'd you end up dropping that? Where's the result for you, Scott?
I didn't type it in yet.
Oh, okay.
So
you were just
trying to
talking about.
figure-
You said 30, and I thought you meant your roll. I'm like, oh, you're just basically popping off 30 rounds.
yeah, so I get 30 rounds. But do you want me to assign per target or?
No, you can just say I'm panning across doing a 30-round burst.
All right.
How is Ivar's thing gonna work into this?
Make it
Well,
two
Is he
times
like
bigger.
You're
is he like
basically-
moving with them?
What you're doing is you're not putting a screen up in front. All you're doing is focusing on the weapon, causing its internal machinations to suddenly produce a much more powerful outburst.
Got it.
That's disgusting.
So, I'm at.
Not to mention more powerful, it also gets the AP mundane feature as well.
Damn, dude.
I'm at a -4 due to the health level penalty. So it puts me to 26.
I thought you were healed up.
I got hit again.
Oh.
he got damaged immediately.
You need to stop getting hit.
Nice.
I'm
didn't-
gonna
yeah.
re-roll that.
Okay.
That's a little bit better.
Okay, so you got 6 to that, which means looks like you're pulling a 32. Not
That's
accounting for the
my-
-4 if you've already taken care of it.
Yeah, I've accounted the -4.
Okay. Yeah, so you're doing
So
a
that's
panning
my-
shot. All right, so yeah, you heft it up to your shoulder and you're like that, and you just start like these orbs. You know, these plasma bolts were about the size of maybe just a little larger than a golf ball on the average. That's how much it was like. They're coming out almost softball size now. Yeah, the damage that is being done because of Ivar's enhancement, you're just going like, and it is puncturing through. So all of what the Colt is doing, of course, you're capable of like if it were anyone else, you wouldn't be able to do this because Colt is in your field of fire. But you're able to completely guide your shots to where he's not even in danger, and still you can start aiming towards other targets. You're blasting holes straight through vehicles. We're talking like ones that have been rolled up onto their side, where it's going through the bottom and out the top, and just slagging the metal almost immediately. And it's just big sparks. We're talking like fountains of sparks and all kinds of hot metal just coming out from every point of contact. Yeah, but you're just ripping the whole street right up. And that first volley starts from like to your immediate southward vector and turning all the way westward. I gotta see exactly who gets caught up in that shit.
That's gonna light up the area a little bit, huh?
Yeah, it's gonna do that, even with them darkening out the area here. Oh my god.
Isn't that Carl?
Yeah.
It is Carl.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love that show.
Oh my god. So, you come across this rapid fire plasma volley manages to rip through, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4 unseen assailants that were actually in the immediate area inside of that shadowed, inside that shadowed space. But I mean, it pegs them out, so each time they get hit, first you get one that's kind of like to the south, heading more towards the west, just at the actual site of the punk knot. It was like making some kind of jump, like it was going to hit after Colt. Several blasts hit it, and you just see it immediately burst into a complete ash. It just hits ground like it was smoldering wood. You go up and over. Of course, from Colt's perspective, you just see this stream of plasma fire just going like that, coming at your face, and goes up and over. You just hold completely still. And
So unlike Ivar earlier, he tightens.
Yeah.
yeah,
Some diamonds start popping out.
Like the bullets are going right by John, like with it like cutting off hairs, but he's just standing still, and each one goes by, but never one touches him.
There's a Hiroshima shadow of John on the.
but yeah, so you glide over the top of him. The vamp that he was originally engaging at his 11 o'clock, which had gone to its defensive position, goes and dives below a car. You correct your vector there. The car gets hit by almost 6 or 7 rounds, just, because you focus fire a little bit for half a second. You see several, fonts of sparks again, and then you see a burst of ash out the other side. It's literally the cover does no good. And you start ripping into, shops in the glass and the bars. The rest of it, you can hear alarms going off now. After you're just they're going, when you finally end your run, 2 more vamps have been taken out that were actually in various, stealth positions throughout this battle arena. And then you pull, you basically release the trigger after that first burst, and, you can see that there's just kind of, a hush on things. It's just, everything's quiet for a second.
Did any of those bursts hit the ice fog?
They went crowding around it. The fog is down low to the ground, which is the safest place you could possibly be.
Okay.
And now we're gonna go and do 3 shots aimed directly at the ice fog.
So you're just taking a burst fire at the fog?
Yeah, instead of doing another round of 30,
Yeah.
I'm gonna do flip it to off of auto too,
Yep, burst. You're like,
and just do 3 a little more aimed in, a little more focused
yep.
at the
So you just
fog.
go that straight across. It's not a moving target. It's literally, you don't even have to roll because you can see where the frost is. If you want, you can see if you get a crit. That'd just be the entertainment value. That'd be dorky as shit.
1, 2, 3.
Hey, you got one crit.
Yep.
Oh God! It crit again.
Well,
Keep going.
Keep going.
All right.
All right, we'll go for a 59 on.
all right. So you're like, okay, like that. You're like, all right,
Well,
taking
'cause,
fire.
Colt is like.
This guy.
No,
Yeah.
he's like this because he's like dodging the bullets, and you just kind of see him going.
And so I just like up and then like.
All right. So you are very careful about firing your shots, especially with this kind of volatile power, because there's a lot of gas in these cars. Problem is you couldn't predict everything, but it works in your favor because the vehicle that you originally, because this was more towards the center and where that fog had been condensed, was just off center to the west. One of the vehicles you'd managed to hit was disrupted enough that you go 1, 2, and then the final shot, the car just slumps over. You hit it directly on the gas tank. So it goes like that. Of course, hair, Colt's just like hair just blasting back. He takes in a mouthful of heat and flame. He's not damaged. He's just like that. As it basically it makes impact. The concussive force of it causes everything else to shift off to the side. If this fog is going to sustain that, it's highly unlikely, given the fact that it's first on fire and all the other shots on top of it. But most of these vehicles just get spread apart a little bit. The shady type weird shadowing that was starting to occur dissipates completely once that happens, and you've got this small mushroom cloud of flame going up into the air.
Damn, dude.
And he's just gonna lift up and go, right? 2, 3, 4, 6. Just. He's like, Colt, I've got 6. Where are you at?
You're muted.
You're muted, yeah.
He's no. I'm saying he's
Not
just
anymore.
going. He's going.
Oh. That still counts as 1.
That still only counts as 1.
You only fired once.
Such bullshit.
And then
So,
he's gonna
I'd like to think Ivar helped.
Oh,
because-
and then he swings back and says, "Oh, look at me!" And he just swings his arm like this. Look at Barrick swinging back and forth.
Big dick on canvas.
And he just observes. He just kind of would it be an occult or a tactics roll about the vampire who went to mist?
Probably just tactics. If anything else, your occult knowledge of the vampire gives you one solid knowledge about it, which is fire or sunlight. Either of those things are bad. It couldn't move. Being landed on by an exploding vehicle is more than enough, molecular damage to destroy it.
Okay, so that big bad is dead.
There's very good reason to assume as such. Yeah.
Okay, then I'm not even gonna do a roll at this point. So
Yeah. No, you're gonna look at that like, yeah, he's dead.
it's just I mean, huh? Good job.
Wow. God damn it, that was crazy. Okay. Riv,
That was 3 exploding?
that
That
was
was-
Yeah.
That was insane.
yeah. You ended up getting which is triple. It's 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's 4 times damage on 4 times damage already, which is why everything kind of landed the way that it did. I mean, that last bolt did more damage than that vampire ever had in its whole life or existence. I mean, you
Would we say there's no kill like overkill?
yeah,
Yeah.
seeing some of that.
And send.
There's
So is
no
there any?
smoke off the tip for Bear to like to the gut?
Oh, yeah, I mean, you do that. It's a plasma rifle, so yeah, there's actually, like, smoke coming off the end of it when you get done with that
There we
volley.
go.
So are there any enemies left?
There will be, yes. I need you to make a combat sense awareness again, Ken. Your
Okay.
feet and ankles are killing you, but you are keeping watch on the battle. Of course, at this point, you get this plume of heat from down below. You're off center from where the explosion is, so you don't have to worry about getting like hit with debris or anything, thankfully. But you're like, whoa!
You take
I'm
a
gonna
nice
roll
little
that.
Heat glide.
I'll take that. So 24. 24 is my combat sense.
All right. Do you have danger sense at
Devil
all?
May Cry.
Yeah,
I think I
that's
do.
Devil May Cry, correct.
Yeah, I've got 1 level of danger sense.
Okay, so you immediately start looking for a problem because you feel an immediate threat. Let's see here. I gotta make sure I've got the right.
Yeah, what happened with the swearwolves?
Well, they're still kind of like struggling to get out. Like I haven't gotten around to their turn yet. Because they spent all of last turn trying to get out of the muck and mire. Here we go. There we go.
I think Copperfield is here. Is Copperfield here?
It's
Uh,
like his theme song.
In
Remember,
Barrett's HUD, it just says Copperfield theme, and like
Fades
I
away.
feel like again, this music is actually how Ivar's danger sense.
yeah, it kind of is. So
I'm just hearing the strings, since I only have 1 level of it.
yeah. Went officially. Yeah, so with that awareness, you actually look up above you. You can see this figure that is hovering way up there. And he's just got his arms out like this, and you can feel this immense amount of presence starting to build in the air from where he's at. Now, the problem with this is that he's quite a distance up, but the light that's beginning to develop in and around its person, because it's definitely it looks like it looks like female, and you're not sure what's going on, but it's clearly arms extended, feet together in a stance with this very broad, almost deified-like physical expression that it has, and it is bringing in something almost like an energy of a sort, but you see this like condensed impulse and then an explosion of light, soft light that just comes out in a rippling form. If you want to you get hit with it, there will be a roll to counteract whatever is going on with that because they're sort of out of range, but this is not the part that
what
makes
kind
you
of
feel it's going to be a will check, and it's going to
Okay.
happen for everybody in this particular instance.
What's the target?
Target is going to be 9.
Will check is 1d10, right?
It's multiple d10, so what's your will?
It's
It's whatever
7.
your will
7,
is.
so you roll 7
Seven.
d10 with 9 being the target, 1 being failure. Exploding
See,
10.
Drew does so many Ivar or so many will checks that he just knows it right off the bat.
Yeah. Nice. Wow.
oh, I forgot to roll. And I have a
Wait,
auto.
Ken's is incorrect. Ken should have 2.
Yeah, I have 2.
And 1 for Bill.
I have Iron Will. 2 levels of that.
Which I believe gives you an automatic success, Bill. At least one
Yeah,
automatic
so-
success with it.
So I'll spend 1 luck to bump my 1 to a 2,
Gotcha.
and then I have Iron Will also. So I'll
Nice.
have 2 degrees of success.
I have 2 degrees of success right off the bat.
Good, good, good.
I'd like to point out that had the target been 8, Ivar would have had 7 degrees of success.
Damn. Talk about Iron Will, huh?
How many levels of Iron Will does Barrick have?
He has one.
Okay.
Technically speaking, I think we allowed you to have two of them because originally Iron Will is not stackable. You either have it or you don't.
Oh.
But
okay.
we gave you 2, and I know that it gives you 1 automatic success under the circumstances if you're already starting out as a supernatural being. So if you have 2, technically you have 2 automatic successes.
Okay. Because I was confused by my own writings. So
Yeah.
okay. So that's 2 degrees, 3 degrees of success for him. Then.
Right. Everybody manages to pull it off, which is good. There's this overwhelming sense of taking near awe at the figure that's up in the sky, and to everybody else that's in the street, it just looks like a star that's like suddenly erupted in the mid-air, a really close one, really bright one. But this effect, it doesn't hold any sway. I've also got to roll for. Oh wow. Wow, Richard, Jesus.
Wow.
Yep. All right, that works. Yeah. I'm spending luck on it, like Dravis for sure, because he was rolling low. So yeah, everybody gets hit or pummeled with this sense of being, awe-inspired for just a moment. It, like making, that this feeling would cause you to like drop your defenses and become completely placid in the face of this new enemy. But that does not work. So Riv, it is your attack.
Only the divine that makes Ivar feel odd. You are not divine.
My turn?
Yes, it is your turn.
Okay. So this actually works out pretty well. She's still has her wings going. She backs off and does a cross like this, and 2 of her runes actually start to glow. And this is where I want to pause for a moment to ask you, the GM, if what I would like to do can work.
Yeah.
So the first ability I want to activate is Fireball. So
Okay.
the way I've been doing it is 3 fireballs emerge around me, like orbits, and then the second ability I'd like to activate is Psychokinesis. And what I was wanting to do, if possible, is for each of my fireballs, can I take Psychokinesis and split it up into multiple fireballs and just make it into like a field of them?
More or less a
and
barrage
target
of
them?
fireballs.
Yeah, so basically take one fireball and split it you use my Psychokinesis to take that fire and make it into many volleys for each fireball, and then I can target each one of them.
A Vegeta barrage.
Basically.
Yeah, you can do that. It would be considered burst fire, so you just roll for your burst to see if
Burst?
you can get it. Yeah, it's basically burst fire. So instead of rolling, if you end up... It's a burst fire rule, meaning that if you're going to fire off multiple shots in rapid succession like that you're going to roll like once per burst. So you have 3 fireballs, 3 bursts, you roll 3 times to see how effective they are.
Okay. Sounds good. And this is still using my will and melee, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, I'll do the roll in a second, but what you will see that looks really cool before I actually do whatever I'm going to do is she does this, 3 fireballs start stringing around her, and then immediately if you were seeing her eyes turned red, and each one of the fireballs like basically splits off like a carrier, just like so she's like surrounded by a firestorm right now. And then she's going to do one of these.
Yeah,
like,
nice stunt work.
Straight out.
Especially given the wings and everything else.
I know, I'm very like fire Valkyrie Angel of Death stuff right now.
Yeah, that's the truth.
Yeah. Okay, so 1d10 plus 14. Oh, I had a question. One of my favorite skill, or my focus skill, is melee. Does that that just makes it so that it the success on the enemy side is harder, right?
It's an advantage you took, yes?
Yeah, I focus that skill particularly.
Yeah, let me check to see what that does again, because I don't think it's that, but it is something that does give you an advantage. Checking the book, sorry for the delay. This loads so much faster, I'm so thankful.
Right. Yeah, taking out that taking out the table made things actually load.
Yeah. Oops. Was it called skill focus? What was that?
I think it's skill focus.
Favored skill.
It's favored
Favored.
skill.
Select a
Select the
skill.
skill.
There it is.
It'll reduce the difficulty of the skill check by 1 per level.
Jesus.
What's that mean?
Wow, how many So your
Lady
your penalties for the skill are reduced. So your pain level doesn't necessarily, it gets shaved down.
Oh, okay.
What's your pain level right now and how many favored skill? It's a
I have
multi-rank. All right.
I have 1.
Okay. Down to a minimum of 5. So that means that your skill penalty is only a -2 when using your melee, as opposed to a -3.
Okay, so instead of 14, that would normally be 14 is what it is without any pain.
You're at
It would have
12.
been, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, hey, that's a good buy.
Yeah, because even if you don't have pain tolerance as an advantage, you can still use it for specific skills to negate them. That's cool. I forgot about that entirely.
I'm re-rolling that one.
Reroll, baby. Reroll.
4. Hey, I'll take that.
Holy shit. All right.
All right.
Damn. So 20 on the dice, all inclusive. So that makes it 33.
Okay, so yeah, you saw my stunt work. I made a fireball of firestorm around me, and then like the enemies of yore.
All right. So she basically turns into a celestial railgun, is what it looks like. Because there's these torrents of fireballs that are swirling around her person, splitting off into multiple, and then you just see them firing off into trails. So you just see trails of fireball going all up towards this enemy that's up in the air. It looks like a fireworks show at this point.
Nice.
Yeah, well, the star up above immediately takes this rapid dive down and starts to juke and dodge most of them, but ends up taking many of these directly. So obviously we've got... What is your psychokinesis power level exactly?
Well, so what it says here is that psychokinesis does intelligence plus 32 damage plus 10 damage per level in the gauntlet. My gauntlet level currently is 8.
Okay.
So that's plus 80.
Yeah.
So 32, and my intelligence is 7. So 7 plus 32 plus 80
Right, so that would be...
is my psychokinesis.
117, I believe.
And then my fireball does 45 damage per fireball, and it's AP mundane.
Right, so we're going to split that up, and we'll say that, with the successive hits, they'll approximately be, because of how much smaller they are, because you're still getting all that extra damage on top of it, it's going to be about 10 apiece. So that's 127 damage, depending on how many fireballs hit.
Damn.
Gotta love that breakup, dude.
Yeah.
Alright, let's see here. We had... That's right. Okay, so... Your 30... What was it? It was 13, 20... Yeah, so 14, 24, and 33. That's right. So she ends up taking 6. Because I was calculating your crit.
Hmm.
God.
Bill. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. That's just for you. I figure that's your cat meme. Scott's got the one with the AK.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So They fire off, and then there are multiple explosions that hit mid-air, causing the whole street to light up. Most of the holographic ads and the rest of it that were kind of like showing, still like arbitrary products, and the rest of it, nobody really paid much attention until they basically fizzle out from the rapid successive, like, concussive impacts and explosions that come from these rapid hitting fireballs. You see the star stop mid-flight downward and then do a complete and total, like, 180 mid-air, flying down the street southward and then doing this U-turn, but going down towards the street and then coming back up again. As that's all the actions you have for now, Riv?
Let's go through this. So I did 2 of my runes and 1 melee.
Right.
I think I just got a stunt left, right?
Well, more or less, like, as far as this, you're using your stunt to create the bifurcated, like, fireballs.
Fair enough. So then I must be over. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm good with that. I feel like the spectacle is there.
Yep. So she starts to come up now. It's Travis's turn to try and give you covering fire, since it seems you've attracted the attention of the undesirable. Alright. So, as the figure comes swooping down and then starts kind of on a curving up, you see Dravis pop up from where he was on the street, go charging right in, takes 2 pot shots with his revolver, causing her to basically maneuver through the air while she's trying to come at Riv. He ends up snagging a vehicle with his offhand and doing a half spin turn and then a huck, sending the vehicle completely up into the air, trying to clip her off.
Damn. Is he super strong or something?
Yes.
I thought he was just a Marine.
No, he's an Eldritch Knight technically, is what it does. But he's like got a 27 body, I think.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, he's meant to fight supernatural beings all on his own. That's the only reason why that happens. But he ends up hurling this vehicle into the air, and it causes, she basically has to go completely off course. This vehicle goes straight, straight through the air and then comes crashing down near where the patrol cars are, like nearly that half a block down from where they originated. Oh, actually, I gotta check one other thing. Because he wasn't checking for this. Because he had to throw it upward. You actually hear a screech.
Gravity.
You hear a screech a little bit from the background as it seems that some of the chitinous dogs or dire wolves that were in the back still not able to quite, get out. Looks like they may have been, landed on, or one of the ones that was backtracking got hit. Alright. So, at this point, you've got Overwatch coming into everybody's headpiece, and it's Douglas. He's just sort of like, your situation is getting pretty dire. I've actually been able to hear this all over the scream sheets. You've got the incoming.
More? That's what Griff says.
It's like, not hostile. Local authorities have started to take this up. The original conflict was only the punk knot. They were sending in the authorities without check-in. They have been sending in special weapons.
Dougie,
Well, the authorities
kinda busy.
Got
It's
turned into something else.
Yeah.
Just a quick question: would Ivar, with his occult abilities, recognize whether these cops who became dire wolves were always dire wolves, or if they were actually somehow manipulated by, say, the outsiders?
You might be able to figure that out. You can roll an occult and see if they were human once before, and if that wasn't the case. So, as it is, you don't see any more of the enemy vampires trying to swarm the group at this point. It seems that they have either ventured off or gone somewhere else, and, the fight having taken a turn for the worse for them, they've lost a fair number of their own crew just trying to get close to you all. The being that avoids this vehicle crashing ends up slamming in close on the western side building, and you can see these immensely powerful, almost spider-like legs erupt from her back. And she was in mid-flight, mind you, with no wings or anything like that, but she just ends up spreading out like this, and she attaches to the wall, and then you see another pulse going through the building. There's a slight hesitation before you start seeing some strange horrors start pushing up against these windows. and they start scratching and start bursting through multiple floors. You got 6
What do
floors
those look
right.
like?
They are all varying shapes and sizes, none of which looking quite like the other, but all of them graphically distorted. Large jaws, huge spindly limbs, great claws. Some of them have actually swollen in size to where they have long and lanky bodies, usually only being probably only 6 foot maybe at the time, until they were stretched out like they were in a taffy machine to look like these godforsaken monsters that are now funneling through out of these buildings. And you can sense, specifically Colt and Ivar, you can sense that a lot of the same magic that's used by the outsiders has been brought out in a massive scale, causing the local residents of this building and these apartments to become completely converted into various monstrosities.
So, outsider.
It looks like an outsider-ish. It looks like an outsider ability.
Ivar just wants to get his shoebox out.
You still
What's
have
that?
that?
He's like, my shoebox!
Yeah, except for your opponents have now increased in size from maybe 10 to 15 to probably closer to 30 or 40.
So you just kind of see Colt just going, Dougie, we need evac now, right now.
Ivar, make
bad. Ivar, you make portal, we go now.
Ivar try and teleport the group since he's basically near most of the group. Can he?
If everybody can get close to him, yes. He can basically, enlarge the field of his own teleportation ring and make that possible.
Time to go!
Where's Alex?
What's his?
Where's who?
Alex?
Alex?
Our AV.
He's down, if you remember, about a
He
quarter
parked
block.
it.
Yeah, he's down a quarter block down the street.
What's Ivar's target to make the hole big enough for anyone who's close enough to get in there and get us as close to that AV as possible?
Yeah, because you see them flooding out like ants out of an anthill. And they're, like I said, they're just
Time to go!
horrifying.
Alex, time to spin it up.
And it's just like, understood, already on my way. You can hear the engines rumbling.
Keep your coordinates. Give Ivar coordinates so I know where I'm taking us.
And he's just sort of like,
What's Ivar's target to make a field big enough to bring?
you'll have to
the
wait
group
until
back?
Alex penetrates your 180-foot range to get you in there on the first shot. It's going to be a 10. He's a moving vehicle. You're basically waiting until he gets inside of your range, and you're transporting multiple people and trying not to make sure that they don't materialize inside of the paneling or something. So it's going to be a hell of a fucking
the
roll.
fly. Oh, Jesus. Okay.
This is like when Mr. Montgomery Scott figured out how to warp, from a
You got one
moving
success.
object.
Actually, no, you need to roll one more time, Drew.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
he's got a 10 in there. And he could.
There's a 10 in
you
the
don't have any
reroll.
more luck, do you, Drew?
Nope.
Man, it's really fucking with you, huh?
Well, he needed one success to pull it off, but it's not going to be a pleasant ride. So, you've got Richard, who's kind of like watching this is going like, motherfucker. Like, just, he's like watching the whole thing and just like immersed in what's going on.
And then John's just screaming at him, now.
Right?
You could have helped me.
You see Dravis is standing there, so sort of like, Colt, move back! And he just rolls the barrel of his gun. You can see it change color a little bit. And you hear this like, it's like, come on! Like that. It seems to be his element, apparently. He's not standing there. He is backing up, but he's acting as rear guard so that Colt can move through. All right. At this point, I need defensive rolls, parries, dodges from Colt. I need them from Riv, and I think that should... Oh, and Dravis will need to do it. Colt, Riv... Ooh, shit. Ooh, shit. Ooh, shit. Oh, fuck. What was your roll, Riv?
23.
Do you have any luck left? at
Yeah.
all?
Oh yeah. I have tons of luck.
Roll tactics for me, please.
Okay. Well, not tons. I have 4 left, but that means I have 2 rerolls if I wanted, or I could boost up numbers if I need to.
Right. Tactics, if you would.
Tactics.
Now it's time to come through on the tactics.
Oh wait, sorry, that's wrong. The pain takes it down by 3.
Okay, so it's 12.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Sorry, I'm just so automatic of just looking numbers and typing in numbers.
Can't give you a hint. Fuck. Okay, let's see here.
If I have time to activate one of my runes, I've got a rune lined up.
Well, the problem is that that's not necessarily the issue. I need you to roll a percentile because a blast of
And-
magic is coming your way.
I have a
Magic?
question.
Yeah.
Would
Yeah.
Ivar's danger sense incorporate other members of the group so that he could sense, like, oh crud, one of the other members is in danger?
You have it. Danger sense works specifically for the person who possesses it. So you'll know when
Okay.
you are in direct danger. It does not apply to other people that way.
Okay.
So you need to make a percentile roll, Ken, because I
Okay.
believe that you have the magic negating effect as well. Yes.
I have the warding bracelet. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Good.
60% chance.
Yeah. So 60
so
and below is what you want.
Okay. I think I'll do that.
5 works.
I believe I remember in the CRD or CRB that we typed in the DM sucks the player's dick when you get that low.
Yeah. And so that's like the divine like intervention level is at the 5% mark. So it looks like
that's good.
so you're flying across trying to get to where you're at, and you see this incredibly powerful like black cord but purple illuminated lightning go ripping across the various buildings. You try to juke, you realize that it hits you completely, but then you feel this like reverberation through the body as the energy itself completely dissipates from around your person.
Wow.
Yeah, but the building is in not much better shape because where it strikes, you can see massive structural damage starting to come. It spits rock and all that kind of other stuff. You still end up taking, like another like 12 points of just debris damage as you're moving through. Because the spitting concrete and the rest of it you can't avoid. But
Makes
you can
sense.
hear the massive creak and groan of building, and you land right where everybody else is starting to focus in. Dravis is like hopping back and taking pot shots with his arc with his rune lock, and you finally get collected together. Everybody's within your 180-foot radius. And,
Fire away.
Ivar's just like this. You wait for just that moment, and then you feel like right within your field of vision. You wait for it to pass completely into your range, and you just go like, boop, and everybody's like, pew, just appearing inside the vehicle. Now everybody is immediately nauseated because you guys are shifting like you just basically took rope and threw your asses into an AV. Because you're all slam into the benches and stuff, and you're like, oh, like that. And Alex is like, holy fuck, all right, like that, and starts taking acceleration up to higher altitudes.
Everybody make a Constitution saving throw.
Hey, D, how do I do a sanity check?
How do you do a sanity? It's also a percentile roll.
Okay. Do you want to go over or under the sanity?
You want to go under, just like the other
Under.
one.
Oh, okay. Well, it would help if I actually did it right. Okay, I'm good. The
Yeah.
spider-like thing is one of her phobias.
Oh wow,
so
yeah, nice call, good catch.
she's freaking out. Like when the spider-like things came out, I took note of that, and I was like, okay, this is something she needs to freak out about a little bit.
The
And
cold
so
when you-
sweat dripping down your back.
Yeah,
when-
she was
no,
still
when we get in there-
illuminated. Yeah, she was
Yeah.
still illuminated like some kind of goddess and like clung to the side of the building before she executed that secondary attack.
Yeah, so I saw that.
yeah.
What you see when you get in there is Riv is kind of like shaking a little bit back and forth. Like, why did it have to be spider legs? Why did it have to be spiders? Why did it have to be spider legs? Like, she's just not okay with it.
Yeah.
She's like shaking herself out of it, but like, just like, ugh.
Yeah, so you guys start to make your ascent, and you've got Douglas Overcomes going like, this is going to be nasty. On the comms, you got Firestorm, who parts up onto the actual display, and he's like, well, that turned to shit rather quickly. It would appear that all local authorities, including the Special Weapons Forces, are going to be deployed to that same area. I would wager that their actual odds of success against such a large force of supernatural entities to be next to zero. They're going to be locked into this fight, and we don't have any idea what the intent of the original Zamisi Nest even was. All we know is that it's escalated to such a degree that now it seems that containment is the only option.
I'll be right back.
Yep. And it's like, and you hear him talk to Alex. It's like, Alex, you're going to want to correct your course. I'll give you a nav point. He's like, understood, thanks a lot, like that, and starts banking off into a different direction. You can see larger authorities kind of going out as you have the electrochromatic panels. And you're just watching like cops and other vehicles, AVs, starting to zoom in and start laying waste.
Ivar's looking kind of out the window right now. Goes, wait a second, where are we?
We're a bit further south.
How far south?
Carolinas.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Took me to the Carolinas. No wonder I had shitstorm.
So we
And
needed
he
the
just,
place
like-
or what?
Ivar just turns from the group as like he's utterly offended that you would have taken him to the south.
We
John
actually
just got his arm.
came
He's
through.
he's lying on the floor of the AV, just with his arm like this. Says, "We're sorry, Ivar. We're just glad to have you back. How are you doing?"
I'll have Bloody Mary now. I have to get this taste out of my mouth.
Well, Alex is never gonna get the smell out of the car, so
Barrick's
kind
like,
of trying to
you guys
balance
don't
it.
mind being quiet for a bit, and he's kind of like, you know, welding himself back together.
Yeah. Well, you guys will be headed back to HQ to resolve and debrief, at least for now. I don't believe I've given you at least, what is it? 2 sessions?
Three
3 sessions?
3 sessions, I think.
Three
I haven't
sessions.
gotten IP in a while.
Yeah. Well, we're going to give you 70 points because, holy shit. For those 3 right there, so a big old chunk.
And so, as Barrick's kind of like letting the nanobots do their thing and all that, he goes, "So, Colt, that shield bracelet thing you were talking about earlier."
Oh, now he's not even looking at you. He's like, oh, now we wanted to focus on that.
Hey, I was willing to focus on it before. I don't think my focus was. You know what? I'm not gonna get into it. I'm just glad we're all here, mostly in one piece.
Yeah, the armor that Riv is wearing is scuffed all over the place, torn into and like stuff. Like she's hurting. She's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 levels deep of like pain.
Yeah.
This is when you just need to dial to regeneration. Go.
Make life easy. Well,
I could do that, but for now, no. I'll just
You're just
heal
gonna flip
normally.
through. You're gonna be like on fire and then invincible and then like seeing through things and then like, trying to land on regeneration.
Yeah, right. With enough time and effort, I could do anything.
D, without Ivar, without me having to look it up, Ivar's at a level 4 for his reality shift. What would it cost for him to move it up to a level 5?
I do believe it is 20, so 80 points.
Times 20 for powers.
I am finally going to get Melee Master, so I can do multiple attacks now.
Yeah.
I mean, I like
Nice.
it. I've been using it.
Ivar is going to move reality shift up to level 5.
Yep, so your next reality shift will be at 100 points cost to get it up there. And you have 200 foot range now. So, thoughts?
Well, that was fun.
Yeah, it was a pucker up fight.
Yeah.
I like when the mistress of the night just appears out of nowhere.
Well, Richard did say he couldn't find their leader yet, and she had been planning
Yeah.
on utilizing.
Here, I thought the
certain
mist
things.
guy was the.
Yeah, no, that was the lieutenant.
Yikes.
Well, she didn't seem too happy that we blew her lieutenant to pieces.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, well, and the problem is that you guys are now realizing that the the alliance between Outsider and Zamisi is a very bad thing.
Yeah, man, I only need 2 IP, and I could have gotten upgraded my will to 8.
Oh my
well.
god, dude, that's so funny how that keeps happening.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out what to upgrade on the cult right now.
Maybe I'll get myself a new.
Alright. I'm gonna head to bed. I have 2 interviews tomorrow.
Hey, good luck. I'm gonna head off as well. I gotta be at work at 6 tomorrow morning. So
Yep. Well,
adios, guys.
Have a good
Adios.
session. Take care, everybody.
Yep.
All
Bye.
right.
Jen, don't stay up too late.
And to our viewer, thanks so much for watching. We will catch you next week or on this weekend, whenever we're playing games.